I'm going to run through a few exercises here. I want everyone to participate. I want you to put up your hand to a series of questions if this is correct. If you run a business, if you consider yourself to be running a business, whether you're on some point, if you think you're running a business, put your hand up. What do you reckon, about 40%? 30%? Thank you. If you manage people, put your hand up. One person, two people? 80%? Whereabouts? Okay, thank you. I'll do this. Yeah, no, good try. If you are in the public sector, state, federal, local, put your hand up. 50. Private, that means everyone else. Private sector, participate. Yep. If you have been in Coffs Harbour for 10 years or more, put your hand up. Thank you. If you've been here for less than 2 years, put your hand up. Okay. If you think that the next 12 months in Coffs Harbour, for you and whatever you do, will be better than the last 12 months, put your hand up. If you think the next 12 months will be worse for your business than the last 12 months, put your hand up. If you think that Coffs Harbour will be a better place in 10 years' time than it is now, put your hand up. Thank you. Great. What we've got here is a series of positive people. People who are committed to the community, people who are deeply connected into the community, people who manage, people who run businesses, people who are positive, people who are connected. They're the sort of people that I want in a session like that. I want to throw the session open now to comments from this morning. I rabbited on so long this morning that I didn't get a chance to take any questions. Any comments or thoughts or observations from this morning? Yep. I don't want any people shy. If you're shy, you're not running a business out. Yes.
You talked about the unemployment rate for the region. The unemployment rate as of last week is actually down to 5% for the region, so it's very, very low. But one of the things that you didn't touch on that is very, very critical for this process is the participation rate. The participation rate for this region is 52%, and you would be aware, Bernard, that nationally it's about 64%. And so one of the things that really kind of shows to the region is that there's massive underemployment, and there's also a lot of those people you're talking about who are moving here, who are getting towards the end of their career, have enormous skills available to contribute, but they're not engaged.
Okay, I know the unemployment participation rate of about 67, 68% nationally. I'd be very surprised if it was 52%. I would check the veracity of your claim on that. It may well be, but that's fine.
I'm connected to dealer. I'm a local employment coordinator. I get the direct stats of dealers.
We'll have a chat.
I can tell you they're 52%.
Okay, that's fine. That's an issue. We'll pick that up. Any other observations? Yes, over here.
I believe that one of the comments you made was that for a society or a city to go ahead is to be galvanised. And one of the things, I've been in town 22 years, and I believe as a business owners and other groups, we are very fragmented in our approach to everything we do. And I do believe that if we were to be galvanised and all work for a common goal, it would be 10 times better.
Okay, that's great. And that to me is the single most obvious thing when I turn up to various communities. It's degree of galvanisation. You're never going to get any community which is 100%, but there's degrees along, you know, are you 50% galvanised, are you 60%, are you 10%? That I think is the challenge, is to actually move it along. Any other observations from this morning? Yes?
The observation was, you mentioned about affordable housing under 300,000. How does that correlate with bringing in a skilled workforce? How does that correlate with, you talked about a sense of urbanisation? I just thought, because we've had some problem with some of our suburbs where they've been cheap housing, and that's where our unskilled, that's where we're probably bottom heavy with a lot of unskilled labour. How do you see the 300k with the new DX generation?
Well, look, the reality is you have diversity of housing, affordability and styles. Yes, my view is that the reason why Melbourne has absolutely boomed in the last decade, effectively since Kennett, is because of the strategic visioning and the delivery of large areas of developable residential land that can allow someone like a Bert Dennis, a property developer in the West, to deliver product under 300,000. You simply cannot do that in Sydney, largely because Bob Carr made a strategic decision in 1998 that Sydney's full up. Strategic decisions made in one decade by a politician, maybe even by a council, comes back to bite that community on the backside a decade later. You need the right decisions now to reap the results, to take that dividend in a decade's time. And that's what this is about. It's about making the right decision. And it's not about this or that. It's about a diversity of housing options and styles. It's about a diversity of ethnicities, a diversity of cultures. That, to me, is the way I would want to see any community of 50, 60, 70,000 people in Australia evolve. And I'd be very surprised if the people here did not have that intrinsic vision of where they'd like to see Coffs in a decade's time. So you need both is the answer. Any other thoughts?
Well, it's not a comment but a question. The population trend by age for the next 10 years that you put up for Coffs Harbour, I'm just wondering if you could give me a little detail on how you would have formulated that.
That came from the Department of Health and Ageing. The Department of Health and Ageing, after the last census, in consultation with the Australian Bureau of Statistics, provided population forecasts of every municipality on the Australian continent by age and sex out to 2027. It's never been done before. It is the best data source ever. It's still up, and hopefully the DOHA will update that with results of the 2011 census. There are a couple of areas where they screwed it up, like Latrobe Valley, but generally they got it right. So maybe 10, 12, 13,000. Now, I don't know what other forecasts you've got, but it seems about right. The bottom line is, look, you have all the sophisticated forecasts you like. I've worked in this field for 25 years. If you've added 10,000 people over the last 10 years, it's not going to be that different over the next 10 years. You're not going to add 30. I don't care what you simply cannot add 30,000 if you've only added 10 in the last 10 years. The systems, the infrastructure, the policies, the public simply will not tolerate that level of growth over that period of time. So 10, 12, 13, maybe 14 is what you're dealing with. And 10, 12, 13, 14 is about 2 suburbs, or little bits added. That's the sort of magnitude.